Judging that I just spoke for about an hour for the last video, I plan on this being like a quick video. I'm just gonna try something out a little bit. It's been a while since I've had a stable desk area to do my readings on, and I just want to see what comes through, to be honest. I don't have any particular message in mind or that I've meditated on. I just kind of want to shuffle and see what comes through, and I hope that the message that comes through is inspiring and helpful for you. So let's get started. Okay. Alright, so the first card that we have is leadership. So maybe some of you are pursuing a leadership role. Actually, I am pursuing a leadership role as well, but I'm waiting on confirmation. So perhaps that is something that you are waiting for as well. We also got number 22, intuition. Alright, intuition, leadership, and intuition. Ooh, okay. That was a lot of different cards. I think that's everything. So we have love, partnership, time out, and pride. So already, right off the bat, these three cards feel like they're connected. It could be for one particular person, but it feels like the timeout in a love partnership, because of someone's pride, or perhaps someone isn't being a leader or using their intuition in a relationship, or perhaps someone is going after a job or maybe a promotion so much that they aren't focusing on their love partnership or using their intuition. Perhaps you're going towards a leadership position or something in leadership that isn't actually in line with your intuition as well. I know there's many different things coming out, but as we shuffle more cards, it's definitely going to be clarified, and I do plan on getting some more oracle cards over time, so I'm excited about that. Alright. Alright, so we have lemon balm, nurture. So you may be forgetting to nurture something or someone in your life. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. That someone, like somewhere in your life, something isn't being nurtured as it should be. I'm just gonna reshuffle this really quick. Perhaps it's yourself, like you're not nurturing yourself. One second. Alright, so it keeps falling off, so we're gonna just go with what has come out here. Alright, so we have cat's claw, purification. We have sage, blessing. And we have rose, love. Now, out of all these, this feels like the one that was supposed to come out. When the cards fell previously, it was a whole lot, but the Damiana card was the one that stuck out to me down there. So again, I do feel like it has something to do with a love partnership specifically. I find it interesting how this ends up in the middle. We have leadership, intuition, timeout, pride. Perhaps someone in the relationship is very prideful about maybe their position or their role in the relationship, and because you're going after something maybe that's too good for you, there's a sense of like you see a pride coming out that's very unhealthy, either from you or from them, but it's like you guys aren't nurturing this love relationship in the way that it should be, and there are like kind of thorns. That blood is sticking out to me. It's like the thorns are coming through. And it has the energy of like things being said that aren't meant, like things that are maybe in arguments people are saying things that they don't mean, but the pride is coming out, that need to be right, that need to protect oneself, that need to, be safe is coming through. So that could be what's going on. Now, like I said, that love card feels like what was supposed to come out, but we have purification and blessing. So some of you may need to kind of set apart some time spiritually. Perhaps this leadership position or whatever it might be feels like a blessing for you, but there is a sense of purification that needs to happen before it can come into your life. So whether it be in your relationship, whether it be in yourself, there may be something that in the midst of all these thorns, in the midst of all of this energy, this tumultuous time, like these things are coming up that is showing you that it needs to be healed through. So you might find that your trauma and your triggers are coming out right now, and these are things that need to be healed and worked through before you can move into this new level. Like there's a lot of communication that needs to happen right now that isn't happening, and your angels and your guides really want you to focus on yourself, not in a prideful way, but in a way for healing, right? So that actually feels like this is significant. The Heal Yourself deck feels significant to shuffle right now. Okay. There are like a lot of things just like catapulting out right now in all these decks, which is very interesting. So it feels almost like a storm. Like you may be feeling kind of overwhelmed by all the things that are happening in your life right now, maybe good and bad, where it feels like, okay, one thing is a blessing, but in the midst of all this, there's so much tumultuous things, there's so much chaos. We have beauty that came out, so there may be a sense of insecurity surrounding beauty, whether it be for yourself, whether it be for your partner. And it doesn't have to be like physical beauty, like glamour beauty, but it could be beauty within yourself. Maybe that sense of self-worth, like your solar chakra energy may be struggling right now. And I'm focusing also right now on this timeout energy. So in this love partnership, you both may need a timeout, not necessarily for a separation, but a timeout to really analyze and look within yourselves, like both of yourselves, and really analyze the situation singularly, and then come together when you're both in a more peaceful state or a more reconciling energy. Or it could be that you're in a timeout right now and it's like you're being forced to think about a lot of things. But we have help from above. So this feels like an energy surrounding your faith. Perhaps maybe not trusting that things are going to work out, or not trusting that the things in your life are being divinely guided. Maybe you feel like your intuition isn't quite aligning with what you want, or maybe you're going against your intuition. And with this, it feels like the sense of self-doubt or doubt in the universe. So yeah, you may be struggling a lot with your faith as well. And look at this. We have Pride coming out again. Number 7 in this deck, number 19 in this deck. So there is an energy of pride, and because this is the Heal Yourself deck, this is something that you might be struggling with. Now, pride, I feel like, comes out in an energy of like self-preservation and self-protection, and I can speak from experience. I know when I had my falling out with my friend E, I felt like a lot of pride came up on my end, where it was like, I need to protect myself in this argument because I feel like I'm being attacked, and therefore my pride brought up all these things that were kind of like not even related to the argument, or not even related to what was actually happening. But because I felt like I needed to defend myself, I started bringing up all these things that previously I didn't even really care about, right? And it was like, it wasn't relevant, but it feels like I needed to attack back, right? So I was bringing up all these things that didn't need to be brought up. And I feel like that's coming through because maybe in a conversation or an argument, you started bringing up things out of a sense of self-preservation, out of trying to protect yourself, out of pride, that really damaged your relationship. And now you feel like you really want to fix things things and clarify things, but you don't know how, because it's like I've said so many damaging things already. And I mean, the main thing is it's never too late, I think, to apologize or to try to make things right. It is, of course, up to the other person to decide whether they want to forgive you or not, and it may take a lot more time than maybe you might want, or um, you are willing to wait for. But you have to be respectful and recognize, like, you both have a part to play in this argument or this conflict, and hopefully the other person can also acknowledge their own faults. But someone has to be the bigger person and step up and be willing to take responsibility for what happened. For my case, right, I keep bringing up my friendship with E. We don't really talk right now, but there is this reconciliatory energy where it's like no hard feelings. And for me personally, this past week, I really felt strongly after I'd watched a few of her videos. I really felt that strong urge that I needed to apologize. Like, I just had this energy that hadn't been there in the past few months, where I wasn't really thinking about her. I wasn't really thinking about anything in particular. I just wanted to move on. But this week, very strongly, it was like, I need to apologize. I need to reconcile. Like, suddenly remembering all of, like, the really good things and wanting to apologize and be like, you know what? We never have to talk again, but I just want you to let you know that I'm super, like, I'm sorry, I was being a dumbass, and I recognize, like, in our situation, I really was trying to do my best and blah blah blah, whatever. I won't go into that, but I just felt that need to apologize. And I think this is coming through because you have to be the bigger person and apologize. Don't stick it out and be prideful trying to wait for them to apologize, no matter what they had, what role they played, no matter what they said. There's this overwhelming energy to overcome your pride and come with a soft heart and apologize. Whether you had a role to play, whether you are, yeah, my nose is tingling. Whether you feel you were right or wrong here, like, apologize. Just come in this energy of reconciliation and, work things out. Which I know is not something you hear from a lot of love readings on this platform, but I am not here for sensationalization, charisma. Ooh, interesting. I just consumed some fennel earlier. I'm not here for, like, the drama. I'm not here to bring about drama. I'm here telling you, whether you listen or not, whether you want to or not, you have to be willing to come with a humble heart and apologize. Even if you had nothing to do with it, even if you had no role to play in your own mind, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Something I personally think I do really well is looking at the other person's perspective. I always try to place myself in their shoes and see, okay, how did they perceive? What were they going through? What may have happened in their life that day that caused them to say the things they did, or what did I do to trigger them? So try to take that stance and definitely ask your angels and your guides for help in that if you need it. Yeah, there's definitely this energy of reconciliation, having a sense of remorse, overcoming pride, so that you can receive that blessing. Okay, so we had Fennel that came out first. Longevity, victory, and confidence. Like, some of the energy that you may be feeling, I know I mentioned that solar chakra energy before. Some of this energy that you may be feeling, maybe towards that promotion or whatever it is you're going after right now that you're trying to level up. That solar chakra energy that you may be feeling right now, that hits you, that energy, I feel like because of this love partnership or whatever conflict you're in, reconciling that is probably going to make you feel a lot better in pursuing the thing that you want to do. And if it is a conflict that happened because of this, and maybe there's some perspective shifts that need to happen on both sides about the blessing that is in this, you first need to come forth with a sense of humility in order for you guys to talk about it and to be able to really voice, the benefits or the positives or whatever, and listen to each other about it, concerns or anything, so that you can both move forward. Alright, so we have star anise, youth, falling in love, spiritual aid. So again, and also this is the herbal tea magic deck, so you can use any of these herbs to create a tea concoction or to consume in your food, and use the intention behind like the card to kind of bring that magic into your life. So with the anise, falling in love, you may want to make like a tea, or I know for me, my mom would always use like anise, nutmeg, cinnamon, all those like cloves, all those spices in like either hot cocoa tea or oatmeal and things. So if you want to make like a really comforting meal, or if I know some people brew all those spices and like orange together, so you can make a tea out of it, or you can make it into like a scent, an incense or a scent that you just boil, and it kind of makes the whole room smell that way. I personally find those spices really comforting to smell, so that might be something you introduce. Or maybe you make some kind of anise drink, maybe an alcoholic drink, or you just kind of brew something with that and kind of drink it as you're talking, and have that energy of falling in love again. We also have Tulsi, higher power, lightness, sacred. Well, this reminds me of the Sage card. So Tulsi, higher power, lightness, sacred. You may feel the need to connect with your higher power and your guides, especially before having this conversation, just so you can ask for guidance on what to say, how to fix this, ask your guides to kind of speak through you or speak with you and help you to overcome the pride that you've had, help you to overcome the ego. I'm looking at the snake in the beauty card, which kind of feels like ego. Snakes are beautiful creatures. However, sometimes they are associated with deceit and malice. So, definitely bringing about that energy. We also have the peacock feather in here for prosperity and abundance. But yeah. And then cloves, which I have mentioned inadvertently, protection, prosperity, and courage. So just come together in a new energy and a new light. Be humble, just be like, hey, can we talk? I really want to fix this. Not from an area of trying to gain anything, not trying to force anything or be manipulative or anything, not being accusatory, but really being in that energy of, here is how I feel, here is the perspective that I'm coming from, and I want to hear what you have to say so that we can move forward. Very interesting. I did not have any intention for this reading, but this is all that came out, so I hope that this blesses your heart and it helps in your situation, and I will talk to you guys in the next reading.